maybe end a little bit earlier this time. So I'm here in Chiang Mai. There were two conferences that I was at, one e-commerce conference, and the other one is an SEO conference. The SEO conference was huge. It was about 800 people, everybody doing SEO around the world. This is the biggest conference for SEO. I don't know if to say in Asia, but definitely one of the biggest ones. And all the industry experts come to that one. And the e-commerce, it was a smaller one. It's called the Cross-Border Summit. Met lots of e-commerce brands. Hello, A. If you can turn on your camera and tell us what's your name, that will be lovely. That will be great. That e-commerce conference also opened my eyes for different opportunities in the market I'd say that digital assets markets right now are definitely a buyer's market. There are a lot of opportunities with the risks involved for companies acquiring digital assets. And this is what I mentioned before briefly, what Shira for your company may be for acquiring digital assets for the growth of your company. SaaS businesses been doing that for many years. And there's actually a whole session on the SEO conference of how to build websites to later on sell it to SaaS companies. With the e-com, it doesn't happen as much, but I talked about it with many e-com brands over there, and definitely there is a lot of interest in doing the same thing that happened in the SaaS world, applying it to the e-commerce world. So you're not reliant only on ads. You basically have an asset and you bring the traffic from that asset into your store, into your service, into whatever you do. That's the main idea. I kind of found there is a debate what's easier, SEO or e-commerce. E-commerce being seen as at the conference as something that is very hard to do, and in my opinion, it's also very complicated, very cash intensive. However, the people at the SEO or what people preach there, e-commerce is so easy, just build to sell to them. If you do SEO, you can be e-commerce. I'm not sure I agree with this. It's not always a unicorn and rainbows, of course, but that's the way of how the SEO industry is talking about that, at least publicly on stage. Now, the opportunity is definitely at the multipliers. Multipliers have dropped almost 50%. So now assets worth almost 50% less. I'd say that, so I'll give you an example. At the current market prices, a website that is making a profit of around $1,000 will be sold for $20,000 to $25,000. That was not the case about a year or a year and a half ago, where the similar asset would be sold for around $35,000. Okay, a multiplier of 35, 37, 40. And now it's not that you don't see such high multipliers, but these are more now outliers. And on the other hand, you also see outliers to the other side. I've seen digital assets that have multipliers of 13 or even less than that. It means that you're making back your investment within less than a year. Okay, it's 100% return on investment in a year. That's the way it works. Of course, lower multipliers come with more red flags and deeper due diligence than you need to do. You need to know what you're doing. So that's the whole part of the process of evaluating an asset. But there are definitely opportunities. There are definitely opportunities out there. The reason that those multipliers have dropped is because of mainly two reasons. One, AI, which means that content is a commodity. And two is that Google slashed the traffic of content, of small content website. And when I'm talking small, I'm also talking of rather big ones, but the biggest ones are at the top of the search keywords, many of them. So I'm talking about websites like Reddit. Okay, but there are other maybe major websites that are also significantly hit. However, there are still stories, and I'm saying this from the conference that I was at. There are other websites that were not hit at all. Some even regained back some of their traffic. So not everything is black, but you do need to know what you're doing in order to invest in a business. Any questions on what I said right now? Please just jump in. We're not a huge group here today.
No, I have no question. Please continue.
Okay, so I guess Yuval and Amy
ليش
doesn't have. Oh
ليش
yeah, go ahead.
لا
Go ahead, please. Yes.
from my recent searches, I noticed that prices are fairly similar to common averages of price to earnings ratio. I mean, I haven't noticed any significant reduction according to what you are describing from this recent
Recent change.
place.
I understand.
Yeah.
So from the
that's my
brief.
remark.
Okay, so I'd say, and correct me if I'm wrong, because we had a brief conversation just before we started. You're looking at assets at Empire Flippers, which have a premium on multipliers. Okay, they've been more expensive than other assets. However, the multiplier that is
Not only on Empire Flippers, by the way, but okay,
okay.
I listen.
So
Go ahead,
you give me more examples, but definitely whatever is listed on Empire Flippers, you can negotiate heavily. There's no problem with that. And the fact that they something is there with 37x doesn't mean that you can give an offer on
Yes.
22x.
Okay.
So it's a question of negotiation, what you can do right now. Let's say 3 years ago, you would need to move very fast and you won't have almost no room for negotiation because that was the high peak of the market.
I agree with that. With that one, I agree.
But that's not the case anymore, which actually leads to much better deals, not only in terms
Position
of
if
the
you're a buyer.
price itself. Yeah, but not only this, it's also that you get better terms. You can buy assets for, putting down payment of 50%, and then the rest is seller financing. Just paying from the earnings, basically, and be creative about the kind of deals that you do and make an offer. And many times the seller would say yes because they really want to sell. So you're getting two birds at the same time, getting a low price and good payment terms.
So I saw the chat. The question is, what is the multiplier? Can you go
Sure.
in a little bit more in detail?
Yes, a multiplier is defined as the monthly profit of an asset. So I mentioned before the example with $1,000. So let's say the website's revenue is $1,200 and you have $200 of expenses. So you're left with $1,000 profit. These $1,000 profits times the multiplier, 25x, 20x, 30x. So with 25x 25 times 1,000, the valuation of that asset is $25,000.
Okay. This is mean that who define that multiplier that we can use that number, let's say 25x, who said that could be 25x, not 50x, not or 100x. Where is 25x from, for example?
The seller decides on this, and then it's a matter of negotiation if you
So
are willing to pay this or not.
also
But I'm saying to start the conversation on the valuation of an asset, these days, the average is between 20 to 25 and not as it used to 35 to 40.
Okay. So this is the multiplier is a valuation that you use to evaluate the asset, right?
Exactly. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
for example, the digital asset that you are mentioned, can you give me briefly for some example that what is it like in metaverse, or what is the digital asset?
It can be a website, it can be a SaaS project like yours, it can be a newsletter, it can be a YouTube channel. I'm actually going to analyze a deal just now, so you'd see exactly what that means.
Okay. So actually, after you evaluate the valuation of the thing that we're gonna convert to digital asset, so somebody gonna buy it if it's gonna make the
Yes.
profit for them. Is that right? Or that's good. It's like a
Yes.
DAO in cryptocurrency or ICO
Not crypto.
or IPO.
No crypto and no IPO. We're talking about businesses or websites that making cash flow. You're buying them with the cash flow and you're making money from them from day one. So with a 25x, which is 25 months, you basically make the return on your investment within 25 months, so 2 years in the bit.
Okay, good. Please continue. Understand already.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to do a review now of an assets that I briefly looked at just before our call. I'm going to share my screen, and this one is from Flippa. You know what? Hold on. Let me just make sure that it's open. Okay. There you go. Share screen. Where did the share screen button happened? Sorry about that. There. Okay, so we have an asset from Flippa Marketplace. Flippa is by far the largest marketplace out there for digital assets. Not the most reliable one, but you can still find lots of deals here. Just so you'd know, there is an aggregator of a friend of mine. It's just a side thing you can look at called Acquiring Digital. And Acquiring Digital takes all the deals from different marketplaces all in one place. Actually recommended that in the video that I'm about to release tomorrow, with about 20 or 30 marketplaces over here. So you can just see all of them at the same place. So this deal is from Acquire, this deal is from Empire Flippers, this one is from Motion Invest, and so on and so forth. And they have here 4,628 different deals. But these are aggregators. This is an aggregator, so it takes from all websites such as Flippa. So when I'm saying that Flippa is the largest, you just go here and you see that Flippa has the most deals.
How did you call this site?
Here, Acquiring Digital, over here. You see on top? I'm sharing my screen. Or I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sharing my screen, right? Yeah. Okay. Acquiringdigital.com. You know what? I'm also going to give you the link here. Chat. Here. Here, you have it in the chat. You can check it out. Okay, so we have a listing on Flippa called badassinsuranceLeads.com. That's the one. The asking price is $98,263. It's a marketplace. This highly profitable side gig that we created 4 years ago is hard to let go, but we have other projects we are working on and need our attention. Okay, this is why they are selling. It's a little bit about the asset. They really love their asset, at least what they say. It used to be $154,000, but it reduced by 36%, and now they're asking this price. Now, pay attention. This is their listing price. We haven't even started the negotiation. And this is also where the multiplier comes to mind, because whenever you're looking at an asset, you're comparing it to the market average multiplier. And you subtract or add to that multiplier using either higher or lower, depending on your case. If this is strategic buying for you, for maybe getting this traffic into your business, then that will be this business will be worth much more for you, and maybe you agree to offer a higher price in this specific example. Let's look at the seller. This is Dustin de Torres, or de Torres from United States. He has a marketing agency, as we can see here. He is fully verified, email address, phone number, and government ID, which is a great thing in Flippa. 100% positive feedback, but with only one transaction of $75. So it's not so indicative for something which is selling for $98,000. So you need to, to make your due diligence and check who the seller is and he actually owns this asset. Okay, business location, United States, site age 4 years, making a monthly profit $2,200. Profit margin 52%, which is quite low for a digital asset. It has 3,900 page views a month, and a profit multiplier of 3.6 and a revenue multiplier of 1.9. So this is the multiplier. Now, Flippa is using yearly multipliers and not monthly, as I said. So it's not 25 or 20 or 40x. Basically, 2x here would equal to 24x monthly that I mentioned. So 3.6 will be 36, and then 0.6 of a year. That's another 7th-ish month. So it's 36 plus 7, it will be 43. That's a very, very high multiplier. Now, where do you see this with the numbers? If I take my calculator, and I'll show you how to do that. So we have 22, let's do 98,263 divided by 2268, and we'll get the 43x multiplier that I mentioned, okay? Very, very high, but it could be it's amazing business and you'd want to pay that, I don't know, or it's time to negotiate. Let's check. So the revenue, performance revenue is quite stable, which is nice for in the online space, definitely at these times and age, as I mentioned before. You see from August 23, it's fluctuating, but it stays around those 4,000 mark. Page views going even better. December 23, 3,000, and it's growing. Well, growing slightly, but definitely seeing such an asset at these time and age is quite rare to find, must say that. You don't see so many businesses like that. Most of them are declined. Okay, let's see what they say. So, key highlights. Badass Insurance Leads is an e-commerce store for insurance agents and insurance broker that need aged lead data. It only takes 2 people to run the platform and to fulfill leads over the past 4 years. There's a lot of revenue opportunity here as insurance agents rely on insurance leads in order to make sales. Scalability-wise, it wouldn't take much to find new insurance lead sources and to expand outside of the niche of life, Medicare, and health insurance. So they are in those three niches, and basically they're already giving you the roadmap of what you need to do in order to grow this business. Go and find more niches. Operation. Badass Insurance Leads uses two vendors to fulfill orders that come from repeat insurance agents. Organic traffic from their organic traffic or from whatever from their database of 1,600 insurance agents that have previously purchased. The fulfillment process is very simple and only takes minutes per order. Marketing, the only marketing that has been done is SEO and word of mouth, so there lies a huge opportunity to try out different channels and strategies. Without even reading the rest of this listing, I'd say, where is the mailing list? If this thing has a mailing list, amazing, okay? Because this is where you would require, or you tell your old leads about new insurance opportunity and things like that. Expenses. The expenses are minimal. The only costs are for email marketing tools. Oh, great. Okay, just talking about that. Hosting on WooCommerce plugin, which is on WordPress. WooCommerce runs on WordPress. By the way, a word about WordPress. WordPress became recently so clunky. And for me to run my digital empire, it's become very hard. I'm trying to move away from WordPress. Others also try to move away from WordPress. And with the AI around, you can build stuff pretty easily now with AI without, I mean, there are tools that writing code for you. So this is just a side remark on this. One of the tools, I'm just going to mention it briefly, is called Bolt.new. And that basically builds software for you, SaaS, websites, any of those. Customers. The primary customers of Badass Insurance Leads are insurance agents looking to expand their client base. These agents rely on buying of leads to provide them with leads that are likely to convert into sales. Technology, website uses WordPress, and WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the e-commerce platform on WordPress. One of them, one of many, but I think the most famous one. No other major tools are used. Financials. Since its inception in 2020, Badass Insurance Leads has experienced steady growth and has established a strong presence in the market, is well positioned to continue success in the competitive insurance marketplace. It sounds so far so good. Why they're selling? Look at the revenue and expenses. So you see they have revenue over here, and then because it's only 52% margin, so it's around 50%, see at the difference at the green graph over here. Annual revenue, $52,000, annual profit 27, profit margin we just mentioned, and also the profit and revenue multiple. So the monthly profit, what you have in hand before taxes, is $2,200 to $2,300. Primary expenses, constant contact, that's a platform for sending emails, $50 a month, hosting $20 a month, WooCommerce $30 a month. Great. Now pay attention to what they're showing here with the Stripe data. One of the nice things in Flippa is that you can integrate other platforms with Flippa. So some of the data coming from a platform goes into this listing. And this one is with Stripe. So they connected their Stripe account, and this is real data from them. So you see they have activity from December 1st, 23 to November 30th, 24, so almost a year. And you see the revenue, 7,000, 4,000, 5,000. I guess people don't buy insurance in June for some reason. And then again, high in July, 7,000, so on and so forth. The data comes directly from Stripe. The seller is unable to edit it. See? Okay, and he has 400 orders, 381 customers. This means that some of those are recurring, right? Because there are more orders than customers. And this is the average order value of $162, and there's refund rate of 2%. Okay. Now, this is again comes from Google Analytics. You see it here. You see this icon, so you know that this is verified information. And you see the number of users is around, let's use this because it's more straight. So it's 1,400, 600, 700, 1,700, something like that. and page views is about 3 times of this. So each person is viewing 3 pages on the website, whatever that is. You see, haven't even looked at the website yet. Engagement, look at this. 19,000 users, page views 3 times more. Pages, not 3 times more, 1.76 times more, sorry, my mistake. These numbers are incorrect. You see that a lot because sometimes people put the wrong Google Analytics. They put not the wrong Google Analytics, they install it the wrong way, and this is why these numbers are incorrect, and this is why you get those. It's not that people stay for 3 hours and 46 minutes on the website. It doesn't make sense, and that's not correct. Now, top channels, organic traffic, 71%, direct, 22%, referral, all these are pretty small. Paid search, they do invest in paid search. Okay. I wonder what their expenses are. Where are those 50% margin go to? Let's see. Okay, monetization methods, services and subscription. I mentioned Google Analytics, Stripe, it's all verified. You get in the sale, domains, email address, email subscriber list, unique content, website files, okay, all the usual stuff. Platform WordPress, wholesale included, sales support included. You need to ask what this includes. Is this is this chat? Is this video calls? Is this news and email? And for how long? Okay, this is not detailed enough to make a decision over this. So you need to ask the seller about this. Social media, you see here, quite small. Subscriber list, also quite small. I'm surprised, but I don't know. Maybe for insurance, it's great. I have no idea. Anyway, the most important thing with email list is how much these people are engaged. Are they getting constant emails and newsletters into their inbox? Are they opening it? Are they clicking? Not if this is an idle list, it might not be worth a lot. No comments over here. So one major problem with this listing, there is no data on the expenses, because if you sum up the numbers for what this primary expenses are over here, this does not sum up to 50% of the $4,300 that they make per the revenue, because they're saying the profit margin is 52%, right? So it's the difference between the revenue and the profit. Where is that? I mean, is this the salary of the operator, someone? He did say that there are 2 people working there, so it might be their salaries. Now, if this is the seller or one of the sellers, that means that this can go into your pocket. So actually the margins are higher and they're listing it the wrong way. So we really need to go to a nice and good conversation with Mr. Dustin and engage with him and ask those questions to understand exactly what are you buying. Ask a lot of questions about the expenses. Let's take a brief look on the website. Insurance leads that work. Okay, reduce disconnect, no duplicate leads, new packages. I'm always interested to know what they're offering. Oh, they're offering Spanish packages. Okay, I don't know enough about insurance to understand exactly what they're doing, but I see a major problem that, you know, not a problem, but I'd say a growth potential here. I would sell subscription here, or maybe they have it, but it's just not, it doesn't say here, it's not clear enough. Spanish health, Spanish Medicare. I don't see that. Basically, with the listing, you need to have a P&L sheet. You have to. So profit and loss over time, what are the expenses are, on what, how much over time should be as detailed as possible. 2 more things that I'll ask for more is their Google Analytics access, so I can see the data over time for more than a year of what they're giving me here on the listing. And also their Google Search Console, so I know exactly for which keywords they are ranking for, and see if these are relevant keywords, and maybe identify some more opportunities to do better SEO and grow this business. Overall, this is not a bad business, or so it seems, but you need to dig deeper because we're missing some data here. That's the bottom line. Any more questions, or any questions actually? Wachira, maybe now you have a question about what's the asset. So just to be clear, it's here, this website with the domain. So badassinsuranceleads.com. You buy that, you buy all the assets that are listed here. You're getting that as part of the sale. And you see that it's already making cash flow, average of $4,331 with a profit. You buy that from day one, you have this profit in.
Yes, it's look like uh if this thing is like 100,000 US dollar, so gonna be like a 5 month in term of the break even. Am I right?
Not 5 months. It will be 43x is 3.5 years, more than 3.5 years.
No, because the selling price is, let's say, is around 100,000 US dollar, the asking price. Am I right?
Yeah, 98,000. Right?
And the monthly profit is 2,268 US dollar per month. So this is mean that, let's say, roughly is 2,000 US dollar per month. So if I paid 100,000 and I got the profit 2,000, is almost only 5 month break even. Why is 3.5 year?
I'll show you. So this is per month, and if let's say I'm going to use the exact number here, okay?
Yeah.
98,263, and I'm going to divide it by the monthly profit to know how many months it would take me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
To get that back, to get that 98,000 back.
Yeah.
2268. And you see here, it's 43 months. So 3 years is 36 months.
Oh, okay, right. I do
Okay, 4
my
years
math
is
is
48
wrong.
months. So this would take you 3.5 years, a little bit more. You can see this here also. See, this is in years, so 3.6 years to make your return on investment.
Oh, okay.
But I suspect with this one, two things. First of all, negotiate. Second of all, I think my hunch here is that they didn't say what the margin is going on. Okay, what's the expense there? And if this is salaries to people and you can replace one of them, then that money goes to your pocket, and basically that's you're increasing the margin there. So I can't tell for sure because they didn't say.
And
But that might be that you make the return on this investment much faster than the 3.5 years. That's my
okay,
take.
understand that. And who is the one that making the audit of their financial statistic?
Are you talking about
Yes, who proved
this?
that number? The
So they proved the number by connecting their Stripe. Is all their revenue going through Stripe? I don't know. It's something to ask the seller. But even still, whenever you want to buy an asset, go with the seller on a video call and ask for a screen share, because this is how you can verify the information.
yeah.
Or if they can give you a viewing credentials for their platform, all their platforms, you need to be very thorough in understanding their finances and where everything goes, of course. So when you're asking who does the audit, you do the audit, or you hire somebody to do that. And you need to collect all that information. Sometimes it's very simple and it's all in one platform. Let's say everything here was through Stripe, so it's very easy to evaluate. sometimes it's from so many sources, and if they don't list them, you need to ask them to list it or start collecting this.
Yes, on the Stripe, normally it's gonna be on front line only, like revenue from front office by selling. But in terms of the OPEX, behind that, I don't think the Stripe platform they capture that number.
I don't know if so. We need to do the average here of
Yeah.
this income, of this revenue. I believe that it is this number. I'm not going to calculate now month by month, but I believe this is the number. Can do expand all maybe. There's no P&L anyway. Oh, that's what I was looking for, monthly breakdown. So you see, this is the monthly breakdown. But here's another problem for inconsistency. Look at this. Revenue 4,000. Everything is around 4,000. You see this?
But the expense.
But on Stripe, it's not. Look at this. 7,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. There's inconsistency here. Okay, you need to verify this and understand what the problem is. Here's a problem, something that you need to check thoroughly over here.
Yeah, but it is okay because I already, I mean, record the website that you mentioned, the digital one that you put on, in the link. Acquiring
Okay.
digital.
Yeah, acquiring digital. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, it could be that this Stripe account also holds more businesses of theirs, and this is why the reason for the inconsistency. I don't know, let's say June here, which is quite low. See, 3,654. And here with June, no, it's very inconsistent. I don't know. Need to go with to talk with the seller over this. But this is the situation with not every, but many digital assets. It's not unusual seeing inconsistency like that, and then you need to dive into the data and see and make sense in it. That's the thing.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, Nulai, maybe if you can add the link to the site you mentioned just
This one?
earlier. No, about the site building. Why
Oh yeah,
you mentioned something about why you are trying now
Vault
not to go with not to follow with
here. This one, there are several,
WordPress.
but this is the one.
I just hardly can see you
I
because I'm
started
on
using
my
this.
cell phone.
I'm now giving you the link on the chat, and you can
Okay,
open
okay,
it.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Here it is. Yeah, I basically started building my own. I just built my own website over this using this in a couple of hours. You just give it prompts and keep refining it, and you get the different things. As I started to mention, I'm offering my service for buying digital assets for e-commerce brands. So I basically just created this website. It's very basic. I still need to do a lot with it. But this was just to have something to start with. It took, I don't know, an hour or maybe 2 hours less. Just going through a free prompt and keep fixing stuff, and there it is. The contact form works, and the schedule call works, and it's functional. And you can add more things and iterate this, of course. But everything was done with this vault.new.
How do you connect it with the domain and park it over
So the nice thing about it,
infrastructure?
so the nice thing about it is that there's just a deploy button over there, and then you'd be able to, you know what? I'll just quickly going to show you something. Let me stop share my screen for a sec so I can just start from a clean slate with my just to see that maybe I can't confidential. If not, I'll just do new and that's it. There. What do you want to build? Let me share the screen again. We'll do a quick demo. Share. Oh, we lost the other guy. Okay, so this is what do you want to build? Build music website that gets the pop song of a band and then suggests using AI similar songs. I thought I'm signed in. I'll help create a music website song recommendation using AI. I'll break this down with smaller focus components and utilities. See, it just builds it all. Preview, no preview yet. We'll have a sec. Yuval, do you see this on your screen?
Yes, I see it.
Look at this. Preview. No preview available. What's the problem? Oh, they're waiting for preview to load.
But how did it connect to the maybe I missed it, but how did you connect it with the domain and the
I did not yet. I need to do deploy, and it's a quick process through this button. Okay, we definitely see that something is not working. I don't know why. But we can tell it. There, see? AI music discovery. See? Enter artist name. I like Faba. Failed to get song recommendation because we don't have AI connected, but I can go to OpenAI key. So let's add my keys. Let's stop share. We'll add keys. I'll show you this. Settings. I don't know where my API keys is. I don't remember. API keys. Right. Keys. There. I'm going to add it and then I'm going to run it. You still with me?
I'm with you. Yes.
I'm just, of course, don't want everyone to see my API, so I'm not sharing my screen, but I'll get back to that thing in a minute. Create new secret API. I got an API. I'm going to add it. It's in the code, your open API in AI recommendation, and then I will show you. I need to replace your OpenAPI key in the AI recommendation TS. That's the name of the file. I just need to go and find that. There, I found it. I'm now in the code. I'm going to change my API key, and then I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. Yeah, I think I can share my screen again. Okay. Let's run it again. I don't know if it saved it. I will try again. I added the API key. Create separate component for a header. And let's see what we got. Let's see. Failed to get song recommendation. Failed to execute post message on message board symbol. Could not be cloned. Attempt fix. So you went through a series of this, but many times you did eventually just solve this. So it's not that this is a major problem. There's an issue with your OpenAPI response handling. I'll stop screen sharing again, so I can check the code again. Okay, now we failed to fetch top song. The other day I saw someone, actually today, I think it was today, saw someone making something in 13 minutes. But still, forbidding error. Okay, I see. There is a 403 forbidding error when trying to access Last.fm API. So maybe my API is not set up correctly. Not here, but basically, maybe I don't have access to it. I don't know why. So I need to look into this. But you can do more interesting things. API access denied. Okay, so the problem is there. The problem is the API that I need to fix this. But that's the point, but I can tell it add more modern look, and you'll see they just generate everything from scratch and just making it look much nicer. And this is how you can create websites, SaaS, you name it, apps. It will create it for you. Why did I get this? I don't know, it's 520. Maybe I'm out of credits here because I've been using it all day. Yep. Maybe I'm out of credits for the day. Anyway, you get the point of what you can do with it. It does work. You need some iterations, but it saves a lot of time because I would not be able to create all this code to earn something like that. That's the bottom line. So yeah,
Okay.
that's it. I'm an engineer, but a bad coder, and I don't want to code all this. So it saves a lot of time. Okay. Okay. So we're going to end now. I anyway have a flight in a few hours, so I need to finish. Let me stop the recording. Thank you for joining, everyone. If you're watching this on live right now, I will see you next time. And
See you next time.
Stopped recording and stop live. Live.